But yeah, I'd just like to share the story with Bryah, and we've got some excellent projects, so we'll take you through one step at a time. Yeah, we're a small company. We've got about a $13 million market cap, as you see there. We've been up and down on the market, currently just about 5 cents on the market at the moment, and we've got a cash balance just over 2 at December. So we're well placed. We've got a lot of exciting projects, and I'll take you through. We've got 3 projects areas, basically. We've got the Bryah Basin and the Gavaninta project. Both of those were at IPO. The Gavaninta project is associated with Australian Vanadium and a lot of concurrent ground there. And we work closely with Australian Vanadium as well. The Bryah Basin is well placed. Obviously, a lot of mines up there, DeGrussa, Fortnum, and a lot of prospective geology. Our latest acquisition down at Lake Johnson is on a beautiful belt as well, and that's some lithium nickel ground. I'll take you through those 3 areas in order. I suppose what we're trying to differentiate ourselves are with production potential. So, where we see ourselves, we've got a line of projects. Probably one of the biggest ones and closest ones to production. We've got a 49% share with a JV with OM Holdings. OM Holdings have the Booty Creek mine in Northern Territory. So, they actively, we did a $7 million JV with them. They're currently at 51% of ownership of that, and we're planning the next drill applications for the next year. We've just today announced a maiden mineral resource for that. So we're on the board. We need a critical, obviously, holdings to go and start mining, but we're definitely looking there. Obviously we've still got a 20% holding in Star Minerals that you just heard from Greg. They set out to get their Tumblegum resource due in about 1 year, so we're leveraged to that as well. As they get into production, we've got a whole lot of performance rights that we can take to 30% of Star as well. We've got a copper nickel resource in the tails of Australian Vanadium. All that resource that we've announced is actually within their pit shapes. So as they come into production, we get the benefit, and we can make some product from that. So the value is when they get started in production. So we'll take you through that. Again, just visually, where we are, we see ourselves as 2 branches. One, looking at the production scenarios, with Star, the base metals of Australian Vanadium, and then importantly the OM JV for the manganese. The discovery side, which is just as exciting from a geologist's point of view, we've got some great copper gold targets at Windalar and Olympus, some New Hope gold down at the Gavaninta project, and our new projects down at Lake Johnston with the lithium nickel. Take you through the manganese first. I suppose a bit about this mine is, it was developed in the past. It was mined earlier. You can see in the background of this picture that there's an old plant there. MinRes left it there and should be taking it away at some stage, but it's still there at the moment. That's an old DMS plant. They mined it. You can see the mine up in the top-hand corner. In the top right-hand side above the Bryah, I think that's the new Horseshoe South Extension pit, and we're actually inside the Horseshoe mine main mine there, just to the left. So it's there. We know we can get a product out of it. Manganese is critical for batteries, and we're seeing great interest in people going the manganese sulfate route to make batteries as well and getting some uplift. So the Bryah Basin is the JV. It was a bit opportunistic, I suppose. We pegged it initially for the copper gold. We got over the range, and there's a manganese mine, so there's a lot of outcropping manganese on our tenements. So the brown here. I don't know if you can see my pointer, but I don't know if I can put a pointer on that. But it's the main Horseshoe range. And basically that's the perspective. It's a manganese iron shale, and off that we get in situ manganese and obviously what we call detrital manganese, which is some old paleo channel manganese that's reparticipated and precipitated and now obviously forming some ore lenses. Yeah, as is today, we're proud to show off our manganese resource. We've got 1.8 million tonnes at 21. I suppose what's different than what you're seeing in the market is we've got an area that we know that can upgrade and have good yields. When I say yields, if you're starting at a 20 and you want to get to a 30, you're taking less material to do that. Where you're seeing a lot of people out there with resources around 10%, and they're trying to take it to a 30, 36 as well. And obviously their yields, they have to mine a lot more and process a lot more to achieve that. And that's just the nature of it. So our resource and our drilling that we'll be showing after this is all at a cutoff of 15%. So there's 3 prospect areas. I love these kind of oblique views, but down the bottom was the horseshoe mine. That was where the plant was down at the bottom. Horseshoe extended, what you saw up on the top. And these are kind of potty things, these manganese, they're channels. The channels tend to be low iron. The more in situ weathered supergene tends to be a bit higher iron, but we can blend that to make a really nice product. So yeah, it's exciting for us. We can leverage off this. We can take it to the next stage, which is getting some granted tenements. We've got a granted mining lease already on about 1/3 of the tonnes we've put out, and we aim to put mining licence applications over the rest of them. Just taking you through some of these intersections that we've done previously. I'm not going to read them all out, but 14 at 26, 10 at 29, 12 at 27. It's just under the surface. They're hidden, a lot of these things, so we're using some geophysical techniques to try and uncover them and target a lot better. And one of the next slides will show you that. But these are pretty exciting. A maximum depth of the pit will be maybe 45 meters. We can take these out with minimal effort. Come in about anywhere from about 200 to 500,000 tonne pods. Again, just some more of what we got. This is the area 74, just down from Bunbury Creek. 30 meters at 30, 33, 23 meters at 25. It's some great ore. Some of it may be DSO, but obviously we'll probably, our best bet is to put it into a plant, clean it up, and sell the best product we can. And that's what it looks like. We drilled these PQ core here earlier the year. Obviously black is good, blacky blue the best, and the red will come out either in the crush and screen process, or that's the iron-rich shales, or we're looking at even colour sorting through Steinart ore sorting machines. So, and we've done some cider work on that, and some results have been really positive. We've tried the colour sort, which is just a colour laser. We've tried induction, and we've tried, which is and then XRT, which is the densities substitute. So all of them work in conjunction with each other, and we believe we can get a nice cheap product out of it, and with cheap processing, get a good product out of it. I went back to this, what we're targeting with at the moment. We're using this gradient array IP surveys. So what we did this last year, and we found that it's highlighting the areas that we want. So some of the areas that we've drilled probably won't turn into mines, but what they are showing is the gape is picking up consistent manganese below the surface that we can follow along strike, and it needs enough continuity to get the conductivity. So we're excited. We're going up there in March. I think we've got a survey booked. They're going to cover the Horseshoe Range, which north of the Horseshoe Mine, with this survey technique, and a few other places that we've down by Manawaru and also Black Hill as well. So we're really excited. That's going to be our major prospect generator for the next year. We have got a rig going up there in March already on 16th, and that's following up further on these targets and some of the extension drilling. So we're seeing, we aim to get some critical mass to get this mine going again quickly. So as I said just previously, we're doing further gape. We've got additional targets. The platform for the mining resource, the mineral resources to actually put in mining license applications over that Brumbury Creek area and the Black Hill area and get those environmental studies progressing. We're updating our beneficiation and our process design costs, and we've got one granted mining license. We need to put the approvals in place to get that reactivated as well. Excitingly, it's just over the range. We can support it off the same camp, which is again, one of the reasons why we like this area and have multiple commodity projects. Windala is a great prospect for us. Again, we saw that the JV was in the Horseshoe Range to the left, but the main Narracuda, I suppose, geology is to the eastern side, and then the Fortnum type style gold is to the west. It is a great tenure, great location, and a lot of people are out there looking for the same thing. Horseshoe lights and analogies, Jagusa analogies are what we're actually after. So the Windala target is it came out as a massive geochem anomaly, stibnite, arsenic, which we've recently learned is a little bit more distal to the main event of copper. We've come in, we did some air core, we've refined our targets, and we're currently waiting for 6 diamond drill holes that we've drilled underneath. But they've intersected the ore horizon at about 170 to 200 meters, and we've visually, we've got a VMS style deposit. We're still waiting for results on the other side, but it's got the right stringers. It's got deformed stringers, which is very typical of a VMS deposit. So we're taking further advice on that. Once we get those results, we're going to vector in. We're using a technique which we're getting some R&D funding for hyperspectral scanning. So look at the mineral assemblages of the mica associated with temperature away from the hot source, which is your black smoker type mineralization. So we're vectoring in strongly. We've got a good technical team, and it's actually a really good project, and we hope to progress that once the results come in. Just a bit more on that. We did some IP. The geophysics seems to have limited depth potential, but it does show the footwall pyrite zone sticks out in the IP lines, and hopefully our target is underneath that. Moving on to the other area, which is basically down by the Gibbon to Australian Vanadium ground. Australian Vanadium has the vanadium, iron, and cobalt rights. We've got nickel, copper, and gold rights on that same tenement. And that was part of the float that went out. I suppose the first part is the resource with the nickel. When Australian Vanadium did their work here, they in 2018 PFS, they actually included a flotation plant for the sulfide. So what we're doing is leveraging off that. They didn't include it in the next in the next version in 2020. However, it was NPV positive. It just wasn't enough, and that was probably because they put it 5 years into their financial model. So we're going to pull that out. We've done some float work recently on some more samples. So we're just working through a desktop and probably take that through to our own feasibility to give some value to this resource and at our own NPV. So I think they're cleaning the windows at the most inopportune time out. So we've got a great resource, and it's just watch this space for that when the Australian Vanadium put out their BFS and their their mine plan next year, this year. The New Hope Gold, again, opportunistic. It's a good story in itself. We went out and during the float work actually got a gold tail in the sulfide float of 26 grams per tonne. So we went back and we actually sampled a whole lot more of the pulps that were sitting in storage. So our best result, which was fantastic, which was 10 metres at 25, we could go out, we went back out to the chips, saw visible gold, a lot of quartz veining. We've interpreted those as cross faulting across a rigid iron-rich ore body, which adds chemical and dilational rheological contrasts, so it can drop things out. What we've done is we've turned the rig around to get what we think is a perpendicular to these features and drilled again, and we're waiting for those results. That drilling stopped in December, and what unfortunate timing. And last of all, our nickel, as our nickel lithium, we picked this up in September last year. Opportunistic is a good acquisition. We see a lot of the potential has been looked at previously on pegmatites associated with the greenstone belt. We've got Mount Holland right there. We've got Emily Ann right there, and not much has been done outside of those that main greenstone belt. We've got some stuff on the fringes. We've got stuff in the greenstone belt itself. We've been out there for a reconnaissance trip. We've seen a little bit in the ground. We've got some old data coming in. So we're quite hopeful we can do something like this and add money to add value to the shareholders for that tenement package as well. So it's quite exciting times. They're yet to be granted. So we're going through that Aboriginal heritage process now, which will lead to granting. Tumblegum, I won't carry on about that, but just to say it was a good, you need somebody focused on that sort of asset to take it through to mining. We spun it out into Star. We took some cash for our shareholders. We're leveraged to their success, and they seem to be doing a really good job. As Greg said in the previous thing, we're working together. We're helping them, leveraging off each other with the knowledge as well. So it's been really good. So that's really where we are, Tim, and everyone else. We've got some great potential. We've got our projects are located right next door to each other, so we've got synergies in location. But it's given us a breadth of projects covering from manganese, industrial bulk minerals through to copper gold targets. We're not afraid of leveraging off other people. OM Holdings, who are vertically integrated, have the cash balance to come and explore, and the desire to get this project going for the manganese. So we're really excited to be involved with that. And as I said, with the gold, if we see value for our shareholders and it's going to take too much of our time, it goes into another vehicle, so our shareholders are leveraged against it. So yeah, I think that takes us to the end of our story, and I hope that's been informative for everyone.